48 hours after the Supreme Court upheld the victory of President Uhuru Kenyatta in the repeat presidential election, IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati has come out to castigate those calling for the resignation of the commissioners. Chebukati says he will not resign. He spoke during an annual jurist conference in Mombasa, and as Chris Thairo reports, Kenya Human Rights Commission Executive Director-George Kegoro is calling for the disbanding of the IEBC.
I've made several attempts to make critical changes, but all my motions have been defeated by a majority of the commissioners. Under such conditions, it's difficult to guarantee free, fair, and credible elections.
It is this statement made by IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati days before the repeat of the presidential election on the 26th last month that continued to cast aspersions on the reputation of the electoral body and whether it can conduct a free, fair, credible and verifiable election. And this was evident during an annual jurist conference in Mombasa when Kenya Human Rights Commission Executive Director-George Kegoro directly attacked the credibility of the commission in the presence of its chairman, Wafula Chebukati.
They should put in place a transition plan. I think the country will need a long time to prepare for the next elections, preferably without the current IEBC. So Chebukati needs to tell the country that within the next whatever period, I and my commissioners will vacate office.
At the end of the day, commissioners are in office. They didn't just come in office. They were interviewed. They were brought in office by virtue of the constitutional provisions, and there are clear guidelines as to the term of office and exit from office. So I believe those are his personal views or the views of his organization. They are not the views of Kenyans.
According to Kegoro, the commission failed to manage their internal affairs where they were in charge and resulted to the nullification of the presidential results by the Supreme Court, differences that also saw the resignation of Commissioner Roslyn Akombe days to the repeat polls.
It's clear now that the Secretariat will also need to be reformed, and something about how that is going to happen has got to go into the discussion. But I would also expect that the leadership of the Secretariat will need to go.
The Commission, we believe we did 2 elections in 3 months, which is, I believe, a commendable effort as an EMB. I don't think any other EMB in Africa or the world has done that. And I also believe that the Supreme Court, by its determination, has confirmed that the election carried out on 26th of October was properly done within the law.
Among the irreducible minimum demands raised by the opposition NASA was the resignation of the IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba and 11 other employees of the commission, among them 2 commissioners. Before the August 8th general election, the Isaac Hassan Commission was hounded out of office by the NASA team on allegations that they bungled the 2013 general election, which saw President Uhuru Kenyatta declared the country's 4th president.
The citizens have finally opened the servers that the IEBC refused to open. The boycott has shown that the so-called numbers and percentages that Jubilee and Uhuru Kenyatta have been talking about were all along fraudulent.
We want to focus on strengthening the institution so that come the next election, IEBC will be better placed to manage the elections.
But even as the IEBC chairman insists that the commission has the eyes on the ball and that they are focusing on strengthening the commission, there are still doubts on whether the same team of commissioners and the Secretariat will conduct the 2022 general election. Chris Thairo, KTN News in Nairobi.